Well, hello there, guys. This is New DM Ariel, and coming back on an RPG Saturday. Um, I wanted to drop this video and talk about some of the changes that happened with the OGL situation, which has been resolved finally. So we're gonna take not spend too much time on it, but just kind of take a little time to discuss what the outcome was and what the latest news break on that or news on that. So this is from you might have seen a lot of you might have already read this from Charlie Hall over at Polygon that D&D is not going to change the OGL, handing fans and third-party publishers a massive victory. And so they talk about how Wizards of the Coast will abandon any attempt to alter the open gaming license. The announcement was made Friday yesterday after the couple of weeks of backlash from the fans. The OGL, it goes a little bit into the history of it, which was developed and refined in the lead up to the third edition and has been around for over 20 years, as many of you know. Um, the Hasbro brand it talks about just how executive producer Kyle Brink issued an apology in sharp contrast to the response that was a little bit more combative, more a petulant response they called it in terms of whether they were going to adopt the new licensing uh, or keep the old one in place. So it turns out that they went ahead and got so much backlash. They were also worried about how the D&D movie that's going to come out in March will shape up in the box office because, as we know, the IP hasn't done well in the past, and the the fan support is not was not there previously. So now there's a question of whether or not it's gonna do well. It does have some big names, as all of you know, Chris Pine and a couple of other um, Hugh Grant, but it's not really uh, it's not really clear at this time whether the whole negativity towards the OGL debacle and debate and discussion has negatively will negatively impact the box office. So I guess that part remains to be seen. Um, the other bit of noteworthy item with that is that the Creative Commons license um, is will make more materials available for third-party publishers as well as indie companies. And so I would recommend taking a look at this Polygon breakdown because they do a good job of even better than some of the more mainstream outlets. Like I think there was an NPR podcast, and I might link that on the description as well. But the NPR podcast sort of was late to the game, and it just talked about some of the things we already know. Doesn't although it does give a breakdown of what the negative impacts would be had the original plans, had the company stuck to their guns. So um, that's what happened there. And so, with in the wake of this whole mess, content creators were pondering what the future of their channels or their content creations would be. And one thing that it was never going to really impact me because I don't have as many subscribers, viewers, or people tuning in to get this updates. So never was going to approach 750,000 in revenue that some of these indie publishers do uh, have or could approach that level. Some of the bigger ones, um, Critical Role, and some of those things, supplementary gaming channels would also might potentially be impacted, but not really because Matt Mercer, as I have talked before, has some kind of deal with Wizards of the Coast where he probably would be um, immune to any changes or at least minimally impacted. But everybody else was kind of seeing what the development would be and how this would all shape out. I think that from now on, though, uh, rather than just focus exclusively on D&D content, it would probably behoove me to make some more go back and be more wide reaching. So I was thinking of dedicating some time to the RPGs in general, and on the digital space, MMORPGs, going back and spending some time with them in the new year and see how that does, because I know there's still a lot of interest. Right now, for example, I have been checking out the Eden. It's a private server that just came out in December. So Eden is actually focused on Dark Age of Camelot, and surprising to me because it's been over 20 over 20 years now. They celebrated the 20 years anniversary, and they still have a big fan base. And so I was really impressed with what Eden was looking like. It's pretty fresh. It's only been like a month, and so last night, I was exploring it, and there was that feeling that I didn't have before, because it's kind of if you go on the live server, it's a little bit dead on the Wayne server, but Eden feels more alive. There were about 224 players online on the server alone on a Friday evening, so that's a good sign. And it was actually fun to go into the character creation part of it, as well as the different battle. If you're not familiar with Dark Age of Camelot, I would highly recommend. If we weren't around back then, prior to Warcraft and some of these other big name MMO releases, I would recommend checking it out. And the Eden server in particular seems to be jumping. And I got a troll, uh what was it, berserker troll up to like level 3 in just under a couple hours. So there seems to be some fast leveling now, and this is the right time to jump into it. So I will make have more updates on that at in the near future. But there are some advantages and disadvantages to playing on a private server, but even being a fresh DAOC. If you have any interest in DAOC or three-party faction, so if you look at the current server numbers, for example, they have two right now, currently as we speak, and January, today's the 28th. The server has 2,459 total. Hibernia, if you know anything about DAOC, it's three factions. So the Hibernia faction is up to 734. Just was updated this morning, and Albion is at 740, and Midgard, which is the faction that I belong to, is up to 781. Which so that's what uh a far cry from the low numbers that you're normally seeing on the live server, and I still might subscribe to the live server because I don't want to lose my level 50 tune there, and put up a lot of hours and work on that server. And also, the developers need to get paid for their hard work. So it's something that if you want to support, you can support, continue to support. But I encourage you to check out Eden and uh, and see if you like it. And I'm not gonna do a Twitch or playthroughs or anything like that because I don't think my system is up to it. But I will have some updates on how I'm doing or my progress on that. So that's pretty much it. Wanted to drop a short one today for updates, because I haven't done so in a while. And I hope you guys have a great day and you know, enjoy your games. And uh, I hope you may um, may the roads be with you as always.